the jobs that we have, the business environment might not be so conducive and so on. But there's one thing that I would like the young people out there to understand. When you look at the environment that we have in this country, you have a lot of people that will be complaining that things are so hard. And again, you have people who are making it and they're living very well. So their businesses are thriving, they're making quite enough money, and they are really surviving. So you have to choose. Do you want to be part of those that are complaining, or do you want to be part of those that are making it despite having difficult times? Okay? And you also want to find out that you want to be the kind of young person that is able to make an independent decision. That's very, very important. If you can't make an independent decision yourself, then you must know that you've actually got issues that needs to be addressed.
Okay. Now, David, I know there are a lot of young people there that listen to motivational talks, Les Brown and all these other guys, and give us information, you can do this, but here's a person who is listening to you right now, and they are deciding right now, I want to be part of the complaining group, I want to be part of the people that are making it. But the question that they're asking themselves is, how can I spot an opportunity for me to start, for example, a business? How do I identify a business opportunity, or how do I identify my potential or an opportunity for me to make it? How would you discuss
you make very, very good. It's $1 million question that you asked. If I had money, I was going to pay you for that. How do you identify an opportunity? In short, you're saying, what is one's starting point?
Exactly.
Where do you start from if you want to make it? I can tell you for a fact that for me, for example, I've never had to ask for a loan from the bank, or I've never had to go and ask someone to give me money to start a business.
Okay.
I've always started from nowhere, from zero. I've always started without a capital. The only capital, the greatest capital that you have or you can ever have is how you use your mind. The way you use your mind makes you succeed or makes you fail. When you are looking at opportunities, don't look at the opportunities that come to you and make you feel that you can do this and make money.
Okay.
That's really not an opportunity, I can tell you that. An opportunity is a situation that presents itself as a problem and you need to be the solution. You have it.
That's what we do. Sure.
So you identify a situation that requires a solution. If you can be a solution provider, believe me, you got it. Just look at, for example, some of the companies that have made it the biggest in the world. Okay, Facebook, for example. And I know that there are people who are watching us on Facebook right now. How did Mark decide to start Facebook? He identified a problem and he said it's very difficult for people to communicate. One is in Africa, the other is in the US and so on. So to just be able to get in touch, it's a problem. So how can I now solve this problem? Believe me, if you have an in-depth interview with him, he would tell you he didn't start Facebook because he wanted to make money. He started it because he wanted people to communicate easily. It makes him a billionaire.
Okay.
You see that?
So the motivation behind
the motivation behind what you are starting makes you succeed or makes you fail. Because if you just come in and what you want is to make money, and then you don't make money in the next 3, 4 months, 1 year, then you go down and say, this is not really going to make a difference. But if your idea is that you should be able to provide a solution. Now, if the problem is really there, and your idea is a good solution, it will attract capital.
Okay.
Okay? It will definitely attract capital. It will happen so natural, I can tell you that. It will just attract capital without you even putting in so much stress. Look at Microsoft, Airtel, NTM, even Salesy. Somebody said, how can people communicate so easily? How can we make people talk to each other when they're in different places? So someone starts a network business to provide a solution. Even when you're looking at companies that sell building materials, for example, I can give you a typical example, and if the owners are watching, they might be very happy. Automotive equipment or automotive auto spares. They come in the market, and the idea is, there are so many cars that are coming in Zambia now, and people are having it difficult to order spares from Japan. So can we now have a shop where Zambians can actually come and get their spares. So it's not can we start a business so that we can make a profit, but can we start something that can now make people start having money? If you're having prison TV, you'll be saying, what is the gap that is missing in this industry that we can now be the ones to do it?
Yeah.
Believe me, you won't come and start this business to make money. There's so many other TV channels that are in Zambia today, and if you are going to come in to make money, you come in with completely no idea. So because you're coming without having a good idea, you don't have a solution, you won't be any different from any other TV station. Secondly, you will be running without having a clear vision. So it's about, for example, this show that you have. Okay, let's come up with an idea. Every Thursday, what can we discuss? What you are doing, when you invite me, you're not saying that, let's invite David so we can talk to him and then people can watch, then they can pay or they can subscribe or they can do what. But you're saying that you want to be able to inspire the young people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're providing a solution because you realize there's so many young people that are leaving high school, they're leaving colleges and so on, and they want to be inspired and they need to be encouraged. So you come up with a solution of this is how we can do it as a station. Then you know that you are headed in the right direction. Okay. So it basically works in such a way that every time when we are thinking about starting a business, don't think about the money. Don't think about the capital. Okay? The opportunity, and sometimes when these opportunities present themselves, we actually miss them. The reason why we miss them, one, you would find yourself in a very advantageous position. Okay? Like I said, we have got load shedding now. Okay? I'm giving a typical example. We've got load shedding now. Do we have young people out there who are thinking of how best can we invent either a stove or some kind of a heater which is solar, or how can we invent something that can really help with this load shedding? Believe me, if we're going to have one young person in Zambia who's going to come up with a solution away from solar, but something that these guys were doing sciences, if they can invent something and say this is a product that we have, so when your power goes, this thing automatically goes off. You spend nothing, you do what, that person will be a big millionaire in this country.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you would be. But when you have load shedding, what do we believe in? Gensets or charcoal, or if not charcoal, it's just these solar lamps that we get from China. And even the person who did the solar lamps from China made a lot of money.
Money, exactly. Yeah.
But were they making money? They were offering a solution.
Now, David, exactly, I get your point. Now, there's this point that people get to, for example, if you start an idea, there's this kind of, what can I call it, a dark period where you have to endure before you actually see the money coming. How do you not give up in that period? Because there's a period whereby you're trying to do this and it's not working, you understand? It's not working, I mean, it's just not bringing out the result. What's that thing that is going to make it worth it for you not to give up, for you to just continue moving on? What's that thing, what's that component that keeps people moving in that period?
The biggest thing is the preparedness of your mind.
Okay.
How prepared are you as an individual? Because when you enter into the business circles, and this, I can tell you, this happens even in the work environment.
Okay.
When you get a new job and you get in there, first of all, you are learning to understand who is sitting next to you, what kind of person are they gossipers, or are they good people, are they Christian, or they don't believe in anything, and so on. And as you are understanding all these things, believe me, you have a new job, even if your salary is good, you won't enjoy the first few days. Very few people will come and tell you they have enjoyed their first week at work. At that point, you're getting to know people. At lunchtime, you're seated all by yourself, start trying to study everybody. You are doing less of smiling and laughing and jabbing and all that, because you're studying the environment, okay? Until you get to the point when you're now comfortable, you know, this is Jack, that's Michael, that's Miriam, that's this and so on, then you can interact with them freely, you get to exchange phone numbers, you can call each other, and when you are stuck, because even when you are in this position, there are many people in the office who get stuck and they can't test the next person to them because they haven't yet known who that person is. You're not sure whether this person knows what I don't know, and so on. So you realize that it's not only in business where you experience that. even in the work environment, you definitely get to experience that. You get a new job, you find that. So it's the same with the business. When you get a new business, and in most cases, a new business, you have a new strategy and so on. Believe me, the first strategy that you put in usually doesn't work. Most of the times it doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is because it's coming from nowhere. It doesn't have a base. Unless it's an idea you are stealing from somewhere else and you come and you want to implement it, then it could work. But if it's something that you've invented yourself, chances are that you would come in and it will just not work the way it's supposed to work. An example I can give you is, I gave you an example of Facebook, right?
Exactly.
When Facebook starts, there's a limit of how many friends you can invite. So I joined Facebook very recently, maybe even after you. I don't know how many people you used to have as maximum in terms of friends that you invite, but you have very minimal number of friends that you can make to be friends on Facebook. Then the person who created that looks at it and says, no, this thing is not working properly. I've got to change the strategy. Okay? I either need to increase the number and so on. And then it goes like, so now I can't be running this thing without making money off it. So what do? Now I'm going to start charging people for adverts on Facebook. Okay? First it's just people promoting their posts when they put them up. And then the next thing is now you've seen that even when you're watching a video on Facebook, an advert comes in, for the next 10, 15 seconds. So all those are now ideas that somebody keeps on inventing to be able to now start making a living out of that. So it's same with business. You realize that you put in the first strategy, it doesn't work out the way it was supposed to work. Actually, it shakes you. It spins your mind. You have to start thinking, come on, why is it that this strategy is not working? That's not a point to give up. That's a point to re-engage. That's a point to say, okay, this is not working, or it has not worked the way it's supposed to work. Two things you can do. You can either completely throw away that idea, or you can adjust to make it suit to the environment. Because when you enter in any business environment, if you are new, it means that everything that you're going to be doing are new things. To be able to make it, you need to have the right kind of strategies in place. Like I said, you realize the first one doesn't work, maybe even the second, even the third may not work. But the moment you get it right, and you get it right at the right time, and it just starts to work, then it will just blow up. It's like one of the TV channels that we have in this country, the private TV channels, starts when there's no other TV channels. So it's an idea that has come at the very right time, when the environment is very good. People have been itching to have a new and a neutral TV station. So you just come in, boom, your TV station just goes on. You see, so when you see that your ideas are not working the way they're supposed to work, when you get that frustration, and sometimes it's the same frustrations that we go through that make us succeed. Because when the times are hard, I would advise you, and I would advise anyone who's watching us right now, when the times are hard, it's not time to give up. It's time to think hard. It's time to, again, re-engage. You need to be, and I always tell young people, even my colleagues at the office, I always say, if you are a kind of person who enjoys sleep in the morning, then you know that being successful is very far from you. Believe me, these guys in the studio. If you are the type that when it's 5 in the morning, it gets cold and you cover yourself nicely in your blankets, you start snoring, and before you know it, it's 8 hours. Success is very far from you. It's when sleep is sweet and your mind gets active and you tell yourself, I need to get up. It's either start scribbling your ideas, what is it that you've been thinking about throughout the night, or what kind of a dream is it that you had. And you can actually interpret your own dreams by just writing. What did I dream about? So what ideas do I have? Today, what am I going to do? All that happens in the morning. You plan your morning, your day nicely in the morning. What am I going to do today? Okay, I'll do A, B, C, D. What do I want to achieve today? What didn't I achieve yesterday? Why didn't I achieve what I should have achieved? So you put all these things to perspective. And when your day starts, no one is going to just come and change your mind and say, hey, I'm going to watch a movie, can we go? But most of the times you find that our young people are so free with life. You've got so much free time on your hands that anyone can just come and sweep you off.
Exactly.
Especially the ladies. Nobody
Exactly.
off your feet.
Exactly. Now, David, I really love that. I'm really loving that. If you're joining us, you're watching us live on the Art Embodiment Show, a show that comes to your screens on Prism Africa every Thursdays, 18 hours, a place where we share love, inspiration, and we share talent. And on the show today, we're having Mr. David, the Democratic Party National Youth Chairperson, who is discussing with us on a topic entitled how do I make it first class in a third world nation? Now, David, I really love that part. I have a question. People talk about self-discipline, you need to be self-disciplined, self-control, and what's really the source of self-discipline? How does one, get to be self-disciplined? What's the source of self-discipline, and what's your perspective on that area?
Self-awareness is very important.
Okay.
You need to know yourself. What do you believe in?
What do you believe in?
What kind of values and principles keep you going? What kind of things can you tolerate in your life, and what kind of things can't you tolerate in your life? How do you see yourself influencing other people? Okay? Now, when you're talking about self-discipline, and I know that most of the times, especially for the young people, it comes in especially on the aspect of social life. Okay. So you have those that feel very free that they can just go and smoke a bit of weed and drink Jiri Power or Boxer or Junta. You go and have all that, and you can get your crack, cocaine, and whatever it is that you want to do. But when you're looking at self-discipline, first of all, it's really knowing yourself. What principles have built you? What kind of a background do you come from? What kind of influence do you want to have in the community? And so on. For example, when you're talking about self-discipline, I'm a young politician myself.
Okay.
And one of the things that I've taught myself politically is the fact that not at any given time will I join a political party because someone has given me a tukwacha. Not at any given time will I make a statement because someone has bribed me. Not at any given time will I resign from my position in the Democratic Party because someone told me, let's shame AFRICA-LITOVIA so that we can now create this confusion and so on. But that I would like to stand my feet and do very, very good things, that I can never pick a stone and throw it at another human being because they belong to another party, okay? But that I can make a difference. Now, in making a difference, it's either people accept me in the circles of politics and decide to give me responsibility, or they don't like me for doing the good things and they let me be. So that if at any point I left my politics and I said, guys, I'm out, no one is going to point the finger and say he used to be a stone thrower or he used to be what and what, but that they can say, no, he tried, he really held on to the principles that he believed in. Okay? So you need to have certain principles that govern your life. You need to have principles that govern your life. Is it things to do with integrity? Okay? Is it issues to do with transparency in the way that you carry about your life? For example, I can tell you, when we're talking about transparency, for me, one of the principles that really keep me going, especially in the circles of relationships, okay? I'm a married person, and I always tell myself, I'm a married person, and my phone shouldn't have a snake on the screen. It shouldn't have a zigzag on the screen. Okay? So that when I show my wife, if she says, how do you open your phone? And then she's like, what did you do? That even if I show that today, by the morning should have forgotten that I'm trying to hide something. But that my partner should have access to my private life. Like my Facebook, my inboxes, and my WhatsApp, and my phone, and all of that should really be, should not be a secret, okay? So that could be a principle that I make in my own relationship with my wife, okay? So that I don't have to live a life of when somebody touches my phone, I'm like, What is she doing? Is everything okay? Has anyone sent a message or stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly.
So you really need to, as an individual, you really need to have certain values. Without identifying yourself with a set of values, it becomes very difficult for you to be disciplined.
Okay.
Okay? So to make sure that you are self-disciplined yourself, you've got to identify yourself with certain values. For me, this I can't do, that I can't do. For example, I'll tell you that I've always told myself I can't drink beer. I will never, at any given time, tell you that I hate people who drink beer. Why? Because they've got their own reasons why they do it. So for me, I'll tell you I don't drink beer. But you can find me seated with friends who drink, and I'll buy them beer and they'll enjoy the beer, but I'll be drinking my own drink. Because all of us have got individual beliefs that we have, and we've got individual issues that we perceive to be so important.
Exactly.
So it doesn't mean that now I have to be blaming other people for what they do, but it's about what, because you have a lot of people who drink beer and they're very, very good people, amazing individuals when you see them, okay? They don't cause confusion, they're so peaceful, they're so loving and so on. So they will have their own reasons why they do what they do. So when you really look at this issue of self-discipline, is what values govern your life. That's really what it's about.
Wow,
if you can't identify what governs your life, if it's about your Christian life, what kind of a Christian? Are you a half Christian or you're a full Christian? Because there are Christians who go to church on Sunday, you open your Bible, and then after that you go home in the evening and you close your Bible until next Sunday. So actually your Bible gathers as much dust as possible. By the time you're going the next Sunday, you actually forget why you left. Okay? So it's about really identifying yourself, knowing what kind of, it's like, I can tell you, if you're not married, okay, and you're getting in a relationship, and this has been my thing, you are discussing with your friend, who is your partner, my friend, this relationship we have, what do we want to get out of it? Okay, I was talking, where is the one I was talking to? 17 years, okay, you want to get in a relationship. You're getting in this relationship when you're asking yourselves questions, okay, as a boy and a girl. This relationship we have, what is it about? Do we want to be friends until we get married? Or are we just friends that we just study or whatever? What is it? Are we going to allow ourselves to indulge, or it's a no-no? From there, you have to set your own goals and principles. You'll be saying, okay, fine, since me I'm a Christian and you're a Christian, the Bible tells us no sex before marriage, so we stick by that. Whatever happens, we stick to it.
Exactly.
No matter how much we're tempted, we stick to it. Okay? Are we introducing me to your family? Am I introducing you to my family? Yes, okay, fine. As who? As a friend or as what? Okay? So you get to agree on these things. And sometimes you can even say, okay, fine. We can even go further. Since we are just both of us in college, and my course takes 5 years and yours is 3 years or whatever it is, when can we get married if we decide to do so? If God allows us to get there.
Yeah.
So you put all these things to perspective. So when you are in that relationship, you're actually planning ahead. You are making all the plans together, and you find that your relationship becomes stress-free because you're not going to be forcing your girlfriend to do something that she can't do because you've agreed together. She can't force you to do something that you can't do because you've agreed, you've discussed. She understands who you are. She knows what your principles are. She knows your values. She knows how far you can go. She knows what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. So all those things are very, very much important. Okay?
Thank you so very much.
I've one of that.
Amazing. If you're just joining us, it's the Art Embodiment Show, a place where we share love, inspiration, where we share talent. And in the house today, we have David, who is discussing with us on the topic, how can I make it first class in a third world nation? Remember, you can like our Facebook page, Prism Africa, or the Art Embodiment Show. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type Prism Africa, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for you to get more of such information on our YouTube channel. Now, David, talking about planning, I have a question. You know, people plan. Everybody talks about planning. In your perspective, what do you think is the best way for someone to plan for their lives? What are the areas, dimensions about planning, or what's your perspective on that?
Okay, so when you're looking about planning, first you need to know the reason why you're planning and what you are planning for. Okay? And as you are looking at what you're planning for, you need to also look at the end result. Okay? What do I want to get at the end of what I'm doing? Okay, so that's one of the most important aspects of planning. What kind of a vision do you have in relation to the plan that you have? And before you just came in that question, I was just telling you that in a relationship you plan.
Yeah.
In your own career, you plan. Okay? In your day-to-day activities, you've got to have a plan. When you wake up in the morning, you set out a plan of what that day is going to look like.
Okay.
Okay? And many of the individuals that I always have problems with at work and otherwise is those people who have a plan and then before midday they have already diverted, they're doing something else. Because me, if you give me your plan, like for example, I receive an invitation that I'm supposed to be here at 18. I planned it in my plan. Let me tell you what happened. So when I was planning, I actually see the route. Which route am I going to take to go to Prison TV? This route that I'm taking, is there any construction going on? What are they constructing? Is it going to disturb my movement? Will I be able to make it on time? If I have to be there on time, what time do I leave from the place I'm going to be at what particular time? So I would have made my day in such a way that in the morning, this is the place where I am. At this time, I have to do this. At this time, I have to pick the kids from school. At this particular time, I've got to be this place so that I leave enough time for myself to now come and be able to attend to this interview. Okay? So when you are planning, you actually have to look at all the aspects. What are the things that can actually hinder your plan from coming to flourish? If there's anything in the way that you think, if for example you want to go and study medicine, for example, it's 7 years, right? And you're telling yourself, the cost is so high. So in my becoming a medical doctor, if for example you haven't been given bursary by the government, you have to understand how much is the payment per year or per semester. Where is this money going to come from? If, for example, an uncle or your mother or your parents are working and they have said, okay, we're going to pay your school fees. In your plan, you are saying, what happens if my parents don't pay? Or if my uncle doesn't come through, he doesn't pay, what happens? What kind of thing am I going to do? So you come up with an alternative. So as you are planning, you look at, this is what you want to get at the end of it, but in getting there, there are all these obstacles that you have to deal with. How do you deal with these obstacles? What are the chances that you'll be able to overcome them, and what are the chances that those obstacles overcome you? Even as you're looking at it, if the worst scenario happened, you don't make it as a medical doctor, what is plan B that you're going to get? So you need to put all these things in place. As you are looking at your plan B, it's easy for you as you are going through that route. If you face any of the challenges that I've told you, money becomes the problem, you'd have already come up with a plan. So, oh yeah, I foresaw this. So now that money is a problem, this is what I'm going to do. Okay? You can even design your own business plan. You can say, if money doesn't come through, I know how to make fritters, or I know how to make pies. I can manage to make pies. I'll go to and sell in the banks. I can go and sell in the schools. I can go and do this. I can make so much money, and after I make this money, I can manage to go and pay school and so on. For me, when I am facing any situation, what I look at is what is at the end of it. Whether it's a problem or it's a good thing. If something comes to me and it looks too good, I want to see what is behind this. If I can't see what is behind, it becomes very difficult for me to take it on. Because some things look so good from the outside. Okay? And for anybody who's single in this place and those that are watching us, certain things look so good from your eyes, but you've got to understand what is behind that. When you see the end of it, then it helps you to actually plan properly. So when you're planning your life, you will plan for your day. You are a young person, you want to plan for your week, you want to come up with some kind of a plan for the month. And amazingly enough, I've actually interacted with somebody who makes a plan for 2 years. He's an old man. He's a man of God, he's a reverend. He makes a plan for 2 years. And I have had to learn from him. Wow. How is it that you manage to make a plan for 2 years? So when you're looking at his travels, for example, you find that if he's going to be flying out, his air tickets for next year, January, are purchased already, his accommodation is paid for. He's just got a plan. So you won't go to him and tell him, oh, I want you to come for this meeting, or I want you to help me with ABCD. you will go back to the calendar and say, will tell you, no, my calendar tells me this time you're proposing I'm going to be in such and such a place. And it just goes about like that.
Wow.
Okay? So the danger is if you don't have that kind of plan, which helps you on how you're running your life, it means that any person is going to just come and take you wherever they are. And those are the ones you find people are arrested and then they're telling them, hey, you have been found in this way. No, me, I didn't know. My friend just told me, let's go. I had no idea I had stolen money or he was carrying cocaine or whatever it is. Why? Because you really didn't have a plan. But if you have a plan, and if it's part of your plan, if anybody comes and they want to do anything with you, you want to know, what is this thing you want to do with me? What is it about? What is my benefit? Why should I do it? Okay? And I always say, even in the political circles, you find people who throw stones, who carry machetes to go and attack other people. It's because they don't think. It's as simple as that. They don't think, they've got no plan for their lives, they just wait, they just sit there waiting for anyone to come and use them. Okay. So a plan is very, very, very much important to every single person, male, female, young or old. It's very important to have a plan.
Now, talking about looking at the end of the thing, the vision and where you are seeing it end, many times whenever you're setting out something new, for example, you get to be short-sighted because, for example, you've not been in this business sector before. It's your first time going there, but you think you have this new idea that you want to do. How does one maximize, for example, let me say in the business area or in other areas, academic area, any other area career-wise, how does one maximize their vision spectrum? Like, how does one maximize it? For example, if I go out into this TV presentation, for example, how do I make it grow big? Like, how do I maximize my thinking and the vision for it?
I'll take you back to the thing that I said when we started. Yeah. You want to be a problem solver. Okay? You should get in any industry to provide a solution to what is missing. I'm in the construction sector. Okay? And I'll tell you that when I was going into this sector, I knew that there are so many companies that build houses, so many companies that build factories and so on and so forth. So I'm not just going to come in again as somebody who's going to build houses. I need to come in with a new idea. A new idea that provides a solution to a certain class of people. So you find that a person who can't build with our company can't build anywhere else because our target market is so specific. We target a certain people that can only benefit from our business. So we're providing a solution. We're saying, okay, so all of you that have been rejected by banks, for example, or those that don't qualify for bank loans, we are here to help you. So we're providing a solution, and people are coming to partake in that idea that we have into the solution that we are providing. Now, it's very much difficult, like I stated even earlier, to see the end of whatever it is that you're trying to do. And this is where the aspect of planning comes in. I'll give you an example if you want to be a medical doctor. It's the same in business. If you're going in business and this is the plan that you have, you should be able to say, if this plan doesn't work, what can I do that is going to really be the solution to this particular issue? You need to be able to predict your own misfortunes. Okay? For example, I can tell you that in my industry, when I was going in to really try and implement my project, I told myself, I'm very much aware that this business has a dry season. Okay? A dry season in the sense that you get to the point when your income levels just go so low. So I'm telling myself, when I get to that point when the income levels are very low, what will I do to survive? Okay? So already you start making those plans. So as you are going towards November, December, January, you know January is a dry season. You want to be able to make plans on how you're going to survive that time. So you realize that the same January when your business is so dry, it's the same January when other businesses are booming. It's just on what people choose to depend on, to spend on. So you have to know, this kind of business I'm doing, at what point do people get to benefit from my savings? When do they really use it to the max? If you've noticed, you realize that all of these telecommunications companies make a lot of money in December. Okay? Why? Because so many people are making phone calls and wishing this one happy birthday, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and so on. So at that time, they will make a lot of money from their messages and bundles and so on and so forth. They also realize that there's a time when the season is dry. Look at the airlines, for example. They'll tell you there's a dry season. Certain times, if you're getting a ticket to Dubai, you can buy it for $2,000. Another time, you can buy it for $500. Same destination, same airline, same time, but you buy it for different prices. Why? Because you have to understand that as you are going about your business, every business has seasons, and you need to plan for them. You need to really be able to, like I said, project your own misfortunes to say, at this particular time, I don't expect myself to make enough money. How do I survive? Because if you don't have all those plans, you find yourselves being kicked out of the system. So really to make it, you have to be a very strategic person. And very important also is the aspect of consulting. Anyone who does not consult does not make it. Believe me, you've got to consult. You need to identify which are the people that I can talk to, which are the people that I can consult. For example, me politically, I'll tell you that I've interacted with a lot of politicians, senior and junior. Why? Because I've had to understand, even the bad politicians that you can look at and say, that one is a very bad politician. Why? Because I want to understand, well, how did this person get where they are? How did they get to the point where everybody thinks they are bad politicians? Okay? So you want to be able to consult as many people as possible. Don't be ashamed to consult. The more you consult, the wiser you become. But also very important that because you're a Christian nation, you want to really be able to live up to the Christian values. As you're living up to the Christian values, God is getting to bless you, your business is going to be getting blessed, even when you face challenges in your activities that you're doing. Even if you are sitting here and I'm telling you, I'm challenging you, you are sitting here and saying, one day I'm going to be making presentations on Al Jazeera or on BBC, believe me, you can get there. The only thing that you might want to do is have an habit. You want to watch, you should have a habit to watch. If you want to go on Al Jazeera one day, watch Al Jazeera every single day, at least 30 minutes. Watch, be inspired, love what you are seeing, and as you are watching that, see yourself there. If you want to be a CEO of a company, any kind of company, imagine yourself being a CEO of that particular company. If you want to drive a nice Mercedes-Benz, visualize yourself doing that. You want to have a very good family, good wife, good children, nice home, visualize all those things. Those are the things that are going to be driving your ideals in your blood. Those are the things that are going to be driving you towards your goal. But if you don't have that, you're just this person who's just sitting and you have no idea. You don't know, okay, yeah, today you just wake up, completely no idea. No plan, whatever, you just eating shima. You eating shima at breakfast, eating shima at lunch, you also eating shima at dinner.
Great.
Even in the night, midnight, you wake up and you're shima, sure.
Now, David, as we conclude, I'm really loving this show. David, as we conclude, I believe our audience is really getting to this, and they might have just one or two questions in which they might just want to ask on a particular question. If you have any question,
look at the way they are smiling.
So if you have a question, you can just ask that question. You can just give us that question.
I think we do not have any questions, but I would like to talk about, I would like some clarity of some sort when it comes to planning, because I get the idea that sometimes, even when you set out certain plans, but then there comes an opportunity that you think is going to work out best for you. How can you go around living a life that is going to be as planned as you think it is supposed to be, or taking up opportunities that are going that you think are going to benefit you in some sort?
Okay. As we're waiting for David to respond to that, in your conclusion, David, just quickly, I'd also like you to explain on this phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. You've heard it before, right? Yeah. As you answer to King Ephraim's.
Actually, you've just amplified this question.
Yeah. So, but just shortly, I'd love you to answer that as you conclude.
Jack of all trades and master of none. It's actually very possible. In the business circles, and actually even in almost everything that you are going to do, there's what they call a cash cow. Okay, especially in the business. A cash cow is one particular thing that really gives you the benefit, okay? What you are doing, what is it that gives you the kind of money or the kind of satisfaction that you want to get? That's your cash cow, okay? It's something that you can do while sleeping, and it will go and it will flow very well, okay? Now, in whatever it is that you are doing in life, remember, if you are a career person, don't today you are a lawyer in your mind, tomorrow an engineer, the other day you are a doctor, the other day you are something else, this other day, it's like you're just going with the wind, okay? Or you want to do every single thing. So you can't be here interviewing people, you want to sit in front of the camera, you want to control the lighting, you want to be in the control room. No, you've got to know where you belong. If yours is a camera, sit by the camera. And believe me, there is no talent which is so small that it can't give somebody money. You guys who are managing these cameras, that can be a multi-million-dollar project that you ever do. You just go with your camera on your shoulders and you say, today I want to shoot something extraordinary. And you never know. It may just blow up and you make a lot of money out of it. So it's about really having the kind of focus. When you are focused and you know what you want to do, you know what you want to achieve, you understand what your strength is, you understand what your weakness is, you will tell yourself, this I can't do. For example, me, one of the things that I can never ever do, even if there was a gun here to tell me, go and be a doctor, I know I can't. Because when I see blood, I run away. So I know I can't do that. Okay? So you've got to understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And in understanding that, you should be able to say, this, yes, I can do this, this I can do. But to answer this question even more directly, it's really about having the kind of focus. When you are focused, even when you're trying to implement something and it really doesn't work, but you know what the end result was. You know, if you leave this place and you're going to the Findeco house, you know how many routes you can use? A million routes, okay? You can use different kinds of routes. You can find some of them are blocked, the other ones will be clear, okay? So you can think of saying, no, going to Findeco house is the straight route passing through lawmakers. When you just get to UN, you find that there's all sorts of construction going on, you get stuck. You don't give up there. You don't switch off the car and start crying in the car. You need to find another route. Okay? For as long as you do what? You get where you're going. So in many cases, us giving up in whatever we're doing as young people, either academic, business, or whatever it is, it's about you get to the point where you think this is a dead end and you want to give up. It's not a dead end. That is just at some point where there's an obstruction. You can still come back and use a route which is clearer than the one that you tried to use in the beginning. So it's about having the strength and the strategy to identify new ideas, new routes, new strategies. This strategy doesn't work, I've got to implement something new. If this thing doesn't work, I've got to try something else. That's really what life is about. There's no route which is so clear that you just walk through the path and you make it and you are all happy and everything. No, it doesn't happen like that. It has to be through thick forests and you have to persevere. You need to be courageous enough. You need to just say, until I get to where I want to be, I'm never going to give up.
Great, David, it's amazing having you in the show once more again. If you're just watching us, you have just joined us live on the Art Embodiment Show, the show that comes to your screens on Prism Africa every Thursdays, 18 hours. Remember, you can be part of the people that are participating in this show, people who are sharing love, inspiration, and talent by contacting the lines that are passing through your screens. And today on the show, we hosted Sir David, who is the Democratic Party National Youth Chairperson, and we've been discussing the topic, which is how can I make it first class in a third world nation. So as we conclude, David, what are your last words to the viewer, somebody who is listening to us right now? What are your last words to them?
So the last words to the viewers who are watching us from home, or wherever it is that you're watching us from, my prayer is that you're not watching in a place which is compromised, but in a place where you're happy about, is that it's very much important to be focused. You don't wait for someone to give you what you need in your life. You've got to create opportunities yourselves. Opportunities are everywhere. And whatever it is that anybody wants to achieve, you can find it in yourself. The biggest resource that anyone has is how well you use your mind. If you can't use your mind, even if somebody gives you anything to do, you're not able to use your mind, you can't achieve anything. So I'd urge everybody to begin using their mind, not to wait for your parents, not to wait for the government, not to wait for your neighbors or the next person who's standing by you to offer you something to do, but that you can create your own thing and begin identifying your talents, use your talents to make it in life, and you will be the billionaire, and start thinking as a billionaire. If you think as a billionaire, That is what you are.
Amazing, David. It's been amazing
Thank you
having you
very
on the
much,
show.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, we're having more shows right up now. We're having more presentations. So be sure to join us after this short break because we are giving you the stuff that you also love the most. Talent is the house, ladies and gentlemen. And we are having more people that are going to give us more talents, more singing, more of those songs that you love, more of those poems. And just imagine the first people on the show, King Ephraim and Vincent Habasimbi are back in the house and they're giving us the best of poetry. So be sure to tune in and catch us right back after this short break. We'll be right back.
In 2019, it's the Together as One music concert at the Mulungushi International Conference Center on the 7th of June 2019, 18 hours to 06 hours. 50 kwacha gallery and 100 kwacha ground floor, featuring artists include Kings Malembe Malembe, Matthew Zungosa, Guest preachers Dr. Towera Nyerongo, Jose with the song Ukuboko, also featuring Francis with the song Mungwingwi, St. Mary's Choir Matero Parish, St. Paul's UCZ, Collins with the song Namona, Jasper C's SDA. Get your tickets from all CompuTickets in all ShopRite stores. For more information, call 0977-210-769. ShopRo, entering new dimension of greater arts.
At Manzi Valley, we pride ourselves in giving you the cleanest and safest mineral water on the Zambian market. Our mineral water is produced in the cleanest and most hygienic, germ-free environment in Zambia, and that's just a fact. We at Natural Valley take pride in the quality of our product so that you can safely enjoy our mineral water, rich in minerals, to satisfy that thirst and revitalize your body. So grab a bottle of Manzi Valley mineral water now to beat that thirst with the cleanest bottled water in Zambia.
Boom, a positive person, always laughing, always giving love, caring.
That one that there. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those music videos that I played out for you. And
but if you stay away from instructions,
to do. And there's a prisoner. And he comes up, from one day he becomes a prisoner, he becomes prime minister in Egypt. Because that guy has the answer. And and God sent him there in order to facilitate salvation even for his own family. They brought a soul to him. They didn't even think that he has got anything to offer. But this young man was their salvation. Without this one young man, they could not have lived. They would
have nice things. Have good friends. But don't ever think that makes you better than somebody else. And if you don't have those things, don't ever think that makes you less than somebody else.
All right, and we're back on your screens, and guess who's in the house? It's King Ephraim the Third is back. If it was Undertaker, I would say you have resurrected.
Well, not until that great day comes, but anyway.
What do you have for us today, King Ephraim?
As usual, I have a poem for us today.
A poem?
Yes.
Okay. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
Alright, so this poem is titled Leap of Perfection. Leap of Perfection.
Leap of Perfection.
I'm missing my lips, like a leap of perfection. Yeah. So yes, I hope you like it. One fun fact about me is I define myself as a whole sack of thoughts and emotions wrapped in a goofy character. So forgive me if I smile a little during this very serious approach. But for the sake of logic and formality, I am humbled to stand before you. You see, this itself explains how two sides of a coin flip against each other. With the pull of gravity, we look at how two characters that are not so different from each other coincide in correspondence to nature's interests and beliefs. Waking up every day like it's a job. You know what's ridiculous? How rules and routines seem so much like a paycheck. Getting me lost in all these loops of emotions that have escalated into a fictional character that sparks a battle between me and myself. Well, this me and myself that we speak of, let me just get into it real quick. Myself needs everything that everyone else wants for survival. Me, on the other hand, is wholesomely satisfied by the daily bread to fulfill the purpose of he that sent me. Me doesn't think the easiest way to get noticed is by faking depression or wearing very bright colored clothes on a sunny day. Me is not so worried about the standards fit for their liking because I know I am meant to make a difference.
Awesome.
So I kick it through finding myself every single day. And through this, I realize that my life has assigned new purpose and destinies every single time that I wake up, every sunrise. And well, yeah. So for every breath that I take and every moment that I'm awake, Lord, have your way in me. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. I really miss King Ephraim on the show. Ephraim is always lit like that. So, you can still like our Facebook page and we'll be sharing more of these poems on the Art Embodiment show. And Grace, another machine that is in the house, is the youngest published author in Zambia, who is also a poet. Vincent is going to give us a poem today. Vincent, it's good to have you back again on the show.
Happy to be back.
Oh, what's the title of your piece today?
The title of my piece is Everybody Thinks I'm Going Crazy.
You're not crazy already. Alright, give us your piece, man.
I might not be eloquent in my speech, and I'm not even here to preach. I'm just here to divorce the phenomenon called delusion. I had intercourse with her, hence my life was an oblivion. I bet she's Chris' concubine because each time I was in submission, I was experiencing walls of Jericho. But something happened called a miracle because one man came and offered one nail, one wood, one hammer, and one saw. He added them together and said Jericho must fall. Mind you, all that happened when I was existing. I know some of you are busy contemplating, saying this guy is saying it doesn't exist. Well, as I dropped my prerequisite, let me tell you who I thought I was. I used to think I'm an organism that lives on Earth, a creature that needed oxygen for his breath. I used to think I'm the mind because they say as a man thinketh, so is he. But I didn't know that the mind is not a man and he. So due to that, I was spending my night in a castle, busy watching porn with my queen because I didn't realize that I'm a king. I kept on chasing for something that was already within me because I didn't realize it was just a mind game. Not until someone came and offered one nail, one wood, one hammer, and one saw. He added them together and said, Jericho must fall. I don't have to start dating grace because Christ came and gave me grace. My benevolence was actually the license for me to stop being insolent so that I can live in Christ. I'm not a man that lives in the universe. I'm the universe that lives in a man. I'm not a drop in an ocean. I'm an ocean in a drop. I'm not a bullet in a gun. I'm a gun in a bullet. I'm not a man that needs the oxygen. I'm the oxygen that needs a man. And I no longer live in time, but I live in moments. And the whole eternity has been embodied in me. And that's according to Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 for the sake of clarity for some of us who are religious. And I don't have to catch up with time like DSTV. And I'm no longer playing soccer with Shakes because each time he comes with the right things about the spear. And when I'm quiet, I'm as loud as a snare. And even if I was to be the only guy on earth, I know I can't be alone just like hydrogen on the periodic table due to the fact that I have your breath. And this is why I can't even see death because I died before I became alive. All because of one man who came and offered one nail, one wood, one hammer, and one saw. he added them together and said Jericho must fall.
Awesome, nice. Perfect. That's always the beauty about having Vincent in the house. Remember, you can always be catching us live on the Art Embodiment show every Thursday. We're giving you the beautiful pieces of poetry in the house, and we're always giving you talent. And you can be part of the people that are presenting talent, poetry, stand-up comedy, singing, and all the kinds of talents that you have been gifted with on the show. Right about me on my right is another important person, a person who is new, just newly launched a book. The Black Spot, Mr. Pronto, is back in the house. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on a successful book launch.
Thank you once again.
Wow, amazing. When was the book launch again?
It was on the 11th of May, last month.
We wanted to pour it on you because it was a birthday, you ran away.
Okay, yeah. I think I wasn't supposed to get water that day. No cakes, some other things.
Oh, come on, man. Water is always the best for guys.
That has been happening frequently when I was young. I think I'm old now.
You need cakes now.
I need cakes. Something like that.
Dude, amazing. What do you have for us today?
Today I'm going to do a song for the same book.
Same book?
Yeah, the same for the song. The song for the same book, which is the Black Spot song.
The Black Spot.
Yeah, so that song is just explaining and more like summarizing the book.
Okay, wow. By the way, how can people get to your book?
It's only through me.
Okay,
yeah,
how can they contact you?
So on Facebook, it's search for my page, Mr. Pronto, just like this. Yeah, and also my line is also there. You can get it from there, and I can get to communicate.
Mr. Pronto, over to you.
Okay.
Let's do this.
The DJ.
Spin bells, Mr. I'm a black spot. I'm a black spot. You know, I'd really love to discover what this symbol on his shirt actually means.
Silent.
It's a brown ticket music. The Black Spot.
The lonely boy. Yes, I know I'm very hard. 54 years is not a job. I've been lonely for too long. Working hard in prison. Since the day that I saw you. That day when I met you. I lost everything that I had. And I fall in love with you. Baby, this is not a mistake. That I'm loving you, girl. This is not a mistake. That I wanna be with you. So baby, understand.
Mr. Pront.
I'm loving you, girl. Understand me. I wanna be with you.
My father was killed in front of me by my mother. Was raised in the home where your love was an enemy. My mother and my sister never loved me in my life. I grew with the hurt in my heart, no fear. I hated all the women in the world, no dear. Nina Kalata babies, that's the best I could be. Spending all my life, no love, I was cool, never mali. Kuyopa, mukaza zani baya monga tate na maini kutapa wasani kai. Wanicho samu mutima mumujima. Nikangiwa no believe right. Nakota, bati iwe gelo na kukonda. No kupasa chance. Niza kudonsa baby olo pansi. Pali iwe ninga tokelepo kazi. Ninapisha vambili teva kazi. Paka uniuze unikonda paka ifa. Mutima muli bright nzelu zili wise. Decision ili right. Inapeza miss right. No na madauti baby paka life.
Baby, this is not a mistake. That I'm loving you, girl. This is not a mistake. That I wanna be with you. So baby, understand. I'm loving you, girl. Understand me.
Mr. Pront.
I wanna be with you.
Yeah, I was spending all the days and nights, baby, without a lover. Me alone, sleep alone, baby, undercover. The daddy on the pillow like it is a lover. Say comment and confessions, everyone commented. I got no potential. I could dance, spend my life alone without a baby. Now see what I'm calling the best of my life. Behind the wise man, here is a beautiful man. A somebody who can help me, a somebody who can for me, a somebody to make me feel like like a man. I know they can talk, yes they talk. You can't marry man who is older than your father. 2 times of your age, my baby, please cool down. Listen to my story, together with the feeling. It's love that I'm carrying, the fact that I'm holding. This is not a mistake, baby, please understand me. Please understand me.
Baby, this is not a mistake, that I'm loving you, girl. This is not a mistake, that I wanna be with you. So baby, understand, I'm loving you, girl. Understand,
Mr. Front,
I wanna be with you.
I say thank you, baby lady, for understanding my story. I thought I never had you, baby, due to my age. It was a nice decision, baby, you accepted me. Shame, shame to the haters and the people never like this. To those who really want me done, I said, bleh. Shout out to the people when me throwing everything, supporting and encouragement, giving me the blessing. Even when the things are bad, but monotonous, you let me to be conscious. You open up my vessels in all my decisions. I keep on working with you people throughout my life, yeah. Baby, baby, love you, you're the one who gave me chance and never be a married and never live forever.
That I'm loving you, girl. This is not a mistake, that I wanna be with you. So baby, understand, I'm loving you, girl. Understand, I wanna be with you.
BJ, my brother G, BK, Young Dams, Dear John, Said and Therese, Frontic Music all the way.
Silent with the music.
Oh, finally, I find it. Amazing, Mr. Pronto.
Yeah, man. That's a project
Amazing. We're giving you more stuff. It's the best show of the week, your favorite show of the week, the Art Embodiment show that comes live to your screens every Thursdays, 18 hours live on Prism Africa, live here on the Art Embodiment show. Right about now, we're just going on a short break, and when we come back, we're giving you the sweet melody of the long touch. If you've ever been watching cartoons, believe me, this is becoming reality live on this show. So be sure to catch us right back after this short break, and we'll be back with more great stuff from the show. Catch us after this short break.
Shapro brings to you a music concert in 2019. It's the Together as One music concert at the Mulungushi International Conference Center on the 7th of June 2019, 18 hours to 06 hours. 50 kwacha gallery and 100 kwacha ground floor. Featuring artists include Kings Malembe Malembe, Matthew Zungosa, These Preachers, Dr. Towera Nyerongo, Jose with the song Ukuboko. Also featuring Francis with the song Mungwingwi, St. Mary's Choir, Matero Parish, St. Paul's UCZ, Collins with the song Namona, Jasper C's SDA. Get your tickets from all CompuTickets in all ShopRite stores. For more information, call 0977-210-769. Shopro, entering new dimension of greater arts.
Kwangwang and the Art Embodiment show just came back. Right about right now in the studio, we've got amazing people and more talent of... I really want to know how to play this scene, believe me. Already. What's your name, sir?
My name is Richard, aka Cartridge.
Cartridge. Okay, why Cartridge, if I may ask?
Cartridge comes from Katongo Richard. My full name is Katongo Richard.
Oh.
So K-A-T, Cat. R-I-C-H, Rich, Cat Rich. That's my stage name.
Oh, Cartridge. Yeah. Richard, Cat. Oh, great, amazing. And whom are we having here on the show?
My name is Praise.
Who?
Praise.
Praise. Like praise, hallelujah, worship, praise and worship?
Exactly.
Okay, amazing. So what are you guys going to give us today on the show?
We have 2 songs.
Okay.
One is called Kuseni Kusachi. It talks about a street kid. Like I had an opportunity to talk about, you need to talk to a street kid and then just hear their own side of the story. So and bring to you something that is actually real from the street. And
Amazing.
someone is just crying out, like, you know, people judge me based on, you know, going to school and having to beg, but they don't know the whole story. So that's what the song talks about.
Woo. Give us the best hit, bro.
Alright, thank you.
And you should teach me how to play that thing.
Ndiye icho ndiyo pempelo yanga kuti lero nikagona lero nikagona kuseni kusache kukacha mtendere kulisowa mafuto kulipeka kuseni kusache kukacha mtendere kulisowa mafuto kulipeka. Chachindi onelamo atindika chabe Konsendi mapita kundi sonta atindile kawalala dine usali kulipe ventilini no. But you never know what I've been through. You never know what's inside. You never know what's eating me up. No. Mafuta kupaka isonsi singo choka velani pempero yanga ambuye kuseni kusache kukacha utendere kunisoa mafuta kunipeka kuseni kusache kukacha utendere kunisoa mafuto kunipeka.
Amazing.
Second song?
Yes, exactly.
The second song is called Batari. So this song is actually an inspiration to me. I think everybody and whoever is watching, if you really aim high to make it in a third, what would we say?
Yes, class with third rotation.
Well, make it, this is your song. So just listen and how we can do this. Thank you.
I'm flying to the stars, maybe I'll stop on the moon, and nobody's stopping me, no. I'm flying to the stars, and maybe I'll stop on the moon, and nobody's stopping me, no. I can feel it deep inside my bones, I can feel it deep inside my veins. I'm gonna make it. Nienda patali, simukani pese. Nienda patali, simukani kwile. Nienda patali, simuzaka ni pesa. Nienda patali, simuzaka ni kwila. I'm just starting. Nobody believed in me. Oh, I goes alone. Our soul is coming. We're just starting. Nobody believed in us. Oh, we were alone. Take a look at us
Amazing. I think we really need to hear this song again. You guys are really amazing. Richard and the brother. How did you manage to cultivate this voice and this gift in you guys?
Yeah, talent, and you know how talent is, like you work on it. Like I can assure you, like there's this great guy in my mind that is not even there. Like you can ask him the same thing. So we just want to dig more and then find out what is about you that we don't know.
Wow. Can I have a look at that thing? I think I want to play it magically here. Hallelujah, somebody. Yeah, man.
And Richard is going to sing.
Can I have a song or something?
I thank you for inviting me on this show. Presenting me I'm made to this again.
Ready for it? Yeah, keep playing. It's such a great show. We enjoyed it. Viewers, I hope you enjoyed it. We hope to see you again on this show.
Tiena patali, simu kati kwile. Tiena patali, simu kati pesa. Tiena patali, simu kati kwila.
No! Actually, you can be part of the Embodiment show every Thursday. We hope to catch you again next week, Thursday. Let's just sing that song again. Nienda patali. Nienda, how does it go?
Nienda patali.
Okay, this is.
Let's go.
Tiena patali, simu kati pesa. Tiena patali, simu kati kwile. Tiena patali, simu zaka ni pesa. Tiena patali, simu zaka ni kwila.
It's a Thursday and it's your favorite show of your week, and we are back on your screens.
You know, Jesus interacted among them. He went with the tax collectors. He went, it says, hey, Zacchaeus, I'm having